Hey, good Friday morning, my friends. I'm live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. You know the protocol. When it's a little warmer, I dig out the tropical shirts. Maybe not so tropical today, but in the 40s to, well, actually, most spots in the southern half of the state that will approach 50 degrees. Quick cold front tomorrow morning, falling temperatures, a lot of wind, brief bursts of snow showers in the southern half, some accumulation in the northern half, and then things quieting down. And I want to explain this to you. What we typically see is a flare up of storms move across the Pacific, and it's usually four storms. Sometimes it's 3 to 5. This time it was five storms, and we're in the last one. And then the Pacific quiets down, and the storms next week don't look really as substantial. All right, let me get you going here. Okay, so satellite picture shows that we do have some sunshine today with the clouds off to the west. That's the storm system approaching. But notice coming from the southwest, so we'll be on the mild side. Now, here's what we look at for the next 10 days. Hey, good morning, David Feinblum from Bloomfields. Okay. And good morning, Frank from Lapeer. All right, so here we go with the forecast over the next 10 days. And you'll see the trend of weaker storm systems. So, not the storm system coming through tonight. That's a strong one. This is tonight, middle of the night. This is tomorrow morning. So, the cold front tomorrow morning sits from about Sandusky down to the Detroit area. That's at 7 in the morning. So, you're going to see some high temperature forecasts for tomorrow in the southeast around 50. That's kind of deceiving because that probably happens at 4, 5, 6 in the morning and then falling temperatures. Behind that cold front already by 7 in the morning, we're looking at much colder conditions, windy conditions, and changing over to snow. This is from tomorrow morning into early afternoon. The snow showers around the entire lower peninsula, but mainly concentrated up in the far northern part of the state. And between afternoon and evening, that shuts down, still going a little bit in the far north in the ski resort areas, I guess you'd say, of northern lower Michigan. And then by Sunday, quieter weather on the cold side. Next storm system Monday night has really weakened. And again, this is not one of the parade of storms that was strong. We've had about 4 or 5 strong ones. Now we go into next Wednesday night and Thursday. Again, another weak little storm system. And then we go into next Friday and Saturday and Sunday. This is Saturday night. This is next Sunday. That's coming in with some mild air and not really well put together. So you can kind of see how the atmosphere is going to take a rest, it looks like, for a couple of weeks, probably, as far as anything really significant. Now, having said that, we do have the wind on the way for tomorrow. Actually, a little deceiving. What I've found is that ahead of the storm on a south wind today, we'll actually get some 45, maybe 50 mile an hour gusts in the southern and southeastern part of the state. So the open areas of Detroit, open areas of Ann Arbor and Flint and the Thumb, Saginaw Bay City, Lansing, Jackson, you could expect some strong gusts out of the south today. And then the wind turns to the northwest and the strong gusts come in from the northwest across the state. Not quite as strong as what looked like yesterday. So let's go into noon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 o'clock. 6, 7. So basically, as we get into this evening, 8, 9, 10, that's when you'll get some strong 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts. Lansing, Kalamazoo, the Thumb, the Saginaw area, Ann Arbor, Detroit, out of the south. And then here comes a cold front through the night. You can see the wind shift. This is 6 in the morning. That's 7 in the morning. So by 7 in the morning, the wind shift coming through the Detroit area and through all of lower Michigan. And not a whole lot of fanfare behind it, some 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. And as we go into Saturday night, the winds come down. And then as we go into Sunday, the winds come up. Hey, this is one point you should realize too. We're in a fight between cold air winter to the north, warmer fall air to the south, the jet stream over us. It tends to make a lot of wind. We tend to get a windy warm up and then a windy cool down. So you don't get much time at this time of the year and in this pattern for lighter winds. Tony McGurr, yes, you will see some sunshine in Davison. Enjoy it. And you'll be about close to 50 in Davison. Let's call it 49. Here are the high temperature forecasts for today. We get it so we can see it better. Sorry, Keweenaw Peninsula. So about 50 today, near 50. Grand Rapids to Saginaw Bay City and southward. Again, these are tomorrow temperatures, high temperatures, but that's deceiving in Detroit and Ann Arbor. 50? No, maybe about 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and then falling temperatures into the 30s. Sunday, 32 to 35. Monday, 35 to 40. Tuesday, 40 in the far southeast, otherwise 30s. Wednesday, 35 to 40. Next Thursday, maybe in the 40s. And then Friday in the 30s. And 9 and 10 days out, this model wants to show a little bit of warmer air. And there is warmer air there, as in temperatures in the 40s. But it'll only make a quick come up and then back out. So I wouldn't say we're done with 40s by any stretch. How much snow out of Saturdays? Snow? Not much. Not much aerial coverage, I guess I would say. From Cadillac northward, an inch or so in through the Traverse City area, and then maybe 2 to 5 inches of nasty wind-driven snow in the Grayling, Gaylord, East Jordan area, Mansalona. Hey, thank you, Victor Sanchez. I appreciate that very much. I will keep up the work. I appreciate it very much. And if you could share, and anytime I'm on live, if you could hit the share button, that builds more followers, as we call it. So have a great day, Victor Sanchez. Total. Now, what I'm going to show you here goes to fill in my story about somewhat quieter weather over the next 16 days. This is an important concept in weather that we don't get to cover much except in a format like this, the ensemble mode of a computer model. So we like the European model. It does a really good job. Sometimes its starting initialization can be a little fluky, and then 10 days down the road, it does something even flukier because it's forecasting, it's compounding the flukiness, if that's a word. So they run what's called an ensemble mode where they start at 30 different ways at the beginning and then average them all together. It's a good way to see what the overall pattern will look like for the next couple of weeks, but it's not exact. When you get into a lighter snow pattern, it will over forecast snow because a lot of those 30 iterations will have some sort of light snow forecast, and it keeps adding them up. But what I want to show you is that over the next 16 days, there really isn't a lot of snow in Michigan. So here's through next Wednesday, and that's that little snow on Saturday in the northern part of the state. And then as we take it out to December 16th, you see 3 inches in Detroit, but remember I told you this over forecasts the snow. So might only be an inch over the next 16 days. And All right, I got you, David Feinbloom. Bloomfield's a joke. 5 inches in Grand Rapids over the next 16 days. That's not a lot for the first 2 weeks of December. And that might be a couple of inches too high. Then you go to something like Traverse City, 10 inches. Again, probably over forecast, probably over the next 16 days, 6 inches or so, which again isn't a whole lot for Traverse City in the first 2 weeks of December. So, what you should get out of this is we have winds picking up today, and even though the thermometer reads tropical shirt, that wind will cancel out the 50-degree feel. Then it's windy and colder tomorrow. Tomorrow's a pretty uncomfortable day. Somewhat dangerous to drive, say, from Holton Lake north to the Mackinac Bridge with snow and wind. And Janet Serdowski says flukiness is a real word. Thank you. Um, and then quieter weather over the next week to 10 days with some little skiffs of some light snow coming on through. Hey, there's your weather update for this Friday. We made it to the weekend. Thanks for joining me once again, folks. I really appreciate it. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, and you have yourselves a safe weekend travel-wise. Just watch out for Saturday morning through about 1 in the afternoon. Then things should be pretty safe all across our great state. Take care.